Hi, and welcome to this short yoga practice. We're going to start to lie on our back. And as you lie onto your back, just walk your feet a little bit more towards the edges of the mat. And then knock your knees together. And just start to feel the ground beneath you. If it feels okay to you, just close your eyes or keep a soft gaze. Place your hands at the sides of your ribcage. And we're going to start to ground. So can you start to feel your breath under your hands? As you breathe in, your skin expands under your hands. And as you breathe out, it gently contracts back. And maybe start to lengthen your breath in without forcing. And gently also lengthen your breath out, more or less the same amount. And then we're going to be here for 1 more minute. And then, of course, your mind is going to start to chat to you, and that's normal. But see if you can just come back to the movement of the breath under your hands. Breathing in, breathing out. The last one, breathing in and breathing out. And if you have closed your eyes, you may want to start opening them. And for the same as you have your eyes open, just keep a soft gaze. Keeping your hands where they are, just separate your knees. And then we're going to roll our knees towards the left. So breathe in and then lower your knees towards the left. Breathe out. And then breathe in, knees towards the ceiling, and then breathe out towards the right. And then continue this way, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathe out. 2 more each side. And then next time your knees are towards the ceiling, keep them there. And then just lift your feet towards the ceiling and then lift your arms as well. So you look a bit like an upside down bug. And then just start to roll your ankles and your wrists in opposite directions. So try to go not too fast so that your joints, they have time to respond and open. And then change direction. And see if you can still connect to this breathing we did earlier, slow and gentle. And then you may start to feel your muscles firing a little bit, and that's normal. And then maybe start to shake your feet and your hands. And just bring your knees now towards your abdomen and then rock from side to side with your hands on top of the knees. Very nice. And then just bring back your feet to the ground and just like have them hip width apart. So meaning that when you look at your hips, your knees are in alignment and then your feet are just under the knees. Bring your hands to the sides and then just like connect with your pelvis. So the back side of it that is touching the ground. And then start to like rock it towards your nose. So your lower back will be imprinted on the floor. Connect with your feet and then just lift a little bit your pelvis away from the floor. Then lower back, middle back, and go towards your shoulder blades. Take a breath in here and then roll yourself back down very slowly and very gently. And then let's do that 2 more times. So once you're on the floor, connect with your feet. So maybe lift the toes, bring them back down. Lift your heels, bring them back down. Rock towards your nose and start to peel your spine away from the floor, pressing onto your feet. And when you're at the top, look at your knees. So they are still like in line. Breathe in and then breathe out lower. And then let's do that one more time. So connecting with your toes, with your heels. Rock towards your nose. Check your knees, they're still in line. And then just roll from the floor. Take a breath in and then lower down. Very nice. Now we're going to look after the top of the spine. So you're going to lengthen your arms towards your knees. Lift the shoulder blades, so your shoulders away from the floor, and then curl towards your knees. So you're not lifting your head first. You're lifting your upper back and your head is following. Bring them back down, your hands, and again. So lengthen towards the knees. Lift the shoulder and then let your head follow the movement as you curl up. And then come back down. And then let's do that one more time. So lift the shoulders, lift your upper back and head is following. And then see if you can stay for one more breath here. And then roll back down. Very nice. And then just take a breath in here on the floor. And maybe you like to sigh out. Now, bring your right knee towards your chest. And then bring your hand on top of the knee and start to roll your knee in one direction. And then change direction. And then from here, keep your knee in. Then lift the hand by your side and lengthen your leg. So as you lengthen your leg, you don't need to aim for the ceiling, just like lengthen it. And you see mine is going to an angle. So it's not really going towards the ceiling naturally. And that's perfectly fine. Then flex your foot so that your toes are towards the nose. Then bring your knee towards your abdomen and then press away. So by the heel, you're going to lengthen the leg. And again, so breathing in, breathing out. 2 more, breathing in, and then breathing out. One more, breathing in and breathing out. See if you can stay for one breath. And then just lower the foot, maybe shake your leg. And then bring the foot back down. And let's do it on the other side. So bring the left knee in, left hand on top of the knee, and just start to roll your knee in one direction. And then change direction. Now, keeping your knee in, bring back the hand to your side and then flex the foot and then push your leg away from you. And then bend the knee, breathe in, breathe out, push. Bend the knee, breathe in, breathe out, push. And let's do that 2 more times, breathing in and breathing out. 1 more, breathing in and breathing out. Stay for 1 breath. And then bring the knee in and just like shake your leg. Maybe you'd like to have the other one joining. And then bring back your feet down and just like shift your pelvis towards the right side of your mat. Roll onto your left side. Come onto the side for a breath. Then with your top hand, so that would be your right hand, push on the floor, lengthen your right leg, and then come onto seated on your mat. We're going to shift onto an all fours position. So here you are going to come on your mat and then your hands will be at each side of the mat. So you're not too narrow, you're quite wide. And then like consciously see if you can lengthen your fingers and then separate them. Think about a gecko here. And then like bring your knees underneath your hips here. You may want to move a little bit from side to side just to feel your weight onto your hands. Move forward and back. And then see if you can engage those fingertips here. So as you can see, like maybe I'm pressing my fingertips on the mat. Then we're going to do a series of cat-cows. So basically, you're going to push on your hands, then separate your shoulder blades, and then curl up your spine towards the ceiling. Then you're going to start by your pelvis, so your tailbone, when you're going to extend your spine. So start by there, then lower back, middle back, upper back. And then as you extend, keep the gaze towards the floor. And then again, push the floor, curl up. And then extend. You may want to try with your eyes closed. And then again, press the floor away. And extend. And then let's do that 1 more time. So press the floor away, curl up. And extend. And then come back to a neutral spine. So basically, you have the front and the back more or less the same length. So you will need to engage a little bit the belly here. What helps is you bring your belly button a little bit more towards your spine. Then tuck your right toes under. And then lengthen your leg behind you. So here your right leg is lengthened behind you and you're on the toes. And then rock forward and back. So you will feel it on the toes and also lengthening the back of your leg. And then just pause and bring back your knee. And just sit onto your heels and just give your hands a shake and a roll. Before we shift to the other side. And then just come back onto your all fours. Again, like check your hands and check your knees. Tuck your left toes under. Lengthen the leg behind you. And then rock forward and back. And then come back onto your all fours. And this time you're going to tuck all the toes under and then sit towards your heels. And then come forward and back. And let's do that a few times. Breathing in as you come forward, breathing out as you come towards your heels. Let's do that 2 more times. Very nice. And next time you're towards your heels, stay. Maybe you like to rest your forehead on your hands. Two more breaths. And then bring back the hands on the floor if you were resting on your hands. Then walk those hands towards your knees. Shift your weight onto your toes. And then you're going to send your heels towards the floor. As you do that, check that your feet are parallel. So they are parallel. Your knees are just above your ankles here. And just bend your knees a lot. Maybe rest your forearms on your thighs. Just take a couple of breaths here. It's a very strengthening pose, this one. Maybe like check your toes and see if you're not like pressing them too hard on the floor. So lengthen them. Maybe try to separate them. And then just let your arms hang and then roll yourself back up. So we just rolled ourselves back up. And then again here, check that your feet are parallel. And maybe you'd like to look at your toes and just leave them away from the floor and place them back. Maybe separate them a little if you can. We're going to place one hand on our chest and one on our belly. And then here, either keep a soft gaze towards the floor or close your eyes. We're just going to rock from side to side for a moment. And you remember the breathing we did at the beginning of the class that was slow and gentle. Can you try to do it again? Let's do that for one more breath. And then just pause here. If your eyes are closed, blink them open. And now bring your arms by your sides. And we're just going to roll our shoulders up and down. So as you roll your shoulders up and down, just do it towards the front, then up towards the ears, and then away from the ears. And then breathe in as you roll up and breathe out as you roll down. Let's do that a few more times. And then one more. Nice. And then here again, so check your toes. If you want to, you can come on top of the toes. If not, stay with your heels on the ground. Arms are coming towards the ceiling. And here, aim for lengthening the sides of the body, arms towards the ceiling again. And then take a big breath in. And then we're just going to let go towards the floor 3 times. So big breath in here and let go. And then come up again, toes or not. Big breath in and let go. And then one more time. And nice. And then come up. And then we're just going to walk at the top of that mat. And just like again, make sure your feet are parallel just under your hips. We're going to step back our right foot. So as you step back, aim for the same line as you are. And then lift this back heel, lengthen the leg. And then when you bend your front knee, it should track the toes. So your knee is in the right position here. And then you're going to bring your arms up. As you bring your arms up, press the floor away with your feet and then come up, breathe in. And then breathe out lower. And we're going to do that 3 more times. So breathe in, push the floor away. And then breathe out, down. And then again, push, lift up the arms. And lower. And then one more. And lower. Now bring your hands to your hips. And these back toes, bring them gently forward until a moment where you can lift the knee forward in front of the hip here. So you're here. And then again, check that, just like look towards the floor here. Now open the knee to the sides and just rest the foot or the toes rather, either on the floor or you bring the sole of the foot onto the calf or the sides of the calf, the sides. Stay here for one breath. And then another breath. Nice. And then step the foot back to the other one. So like just let's do it on the other side here. So have your feet parallel. Then we're going to step the left foot this time. So the same, like try to stay on the same line as you step this foot back. Lift the heel away, so towards the ceiling. Bend the knee towards the toes. Check that the toes are not too tensed. And then lift your arms up. And then breathe in, press the foot. And then bend the front knee, lower your arms. And then again, press onto the feet, come up. And lower. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then 1 more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Hands to the hips. And then walk these toes forward. And then bring the knee in front of your hip here. So I'm just turning to show you. Now from here, open the knee to the side. Then either rest the toes on the floor or keep the toes on the inner leg. 2 breaths here. Very nice. And then bring the foot back to the floor. Maybe sway your hips from side to side. Let's do a few circles in one direction and then a couple in the other direction. Now we're going to go back towards the floor. So here you've got different options. Either you step back with a leg and then come onto your knees, or you just like take any leg behind you and come and sit. Now we're going to roll again onto our back like we did earlier. So maybe keep your hands behind your thighs as you just roll yourself back down, and then try not to lift the feet. So press the big toes towards the floor very slowly and gently. And then bring these knees towards your abdomen. Rock from side to side. Breathe here. And then just pause. You are going to do some opposite circles with your knees. So your knees are together. Cup your knees with your hands. And then push your knees away towards the front of the mat. Open the knees to the sides. Bring them back towards the armpits and towards your abdomen. So let's do few in this direction. So maybe like 3. And then change direction. So open the knees, this time towards the armpit. Push them away, bring them back together. And let's do like 3 more here. Nice. And then bring your feet back down. Maybe walk them again at the edges of the mat. Rest your knees together. Place your hands onto your rib cage. Close your eyes if you want to. And just reconnect to this breathing we did at the beginning of this gentle class. Breathing into your hands. And breathe out. One more breath. Now just like bring back the feet hip width apart, hands to the floor. Shift your weight onto your left side, roll onto your right side. And then when you're ready, push the floor away with your left hand, lengthen your left leg. And then we're going to come onto our knees. And just bring your hands together, rub them together. Then place your hands onto your face, over your eyes, and just rest your forehead onto the fingers. And then gently with your fingertips, start to massage your forehead, temples, going to the hinge of your jaws, and then the back of your neck. And then with one hand, go to the opposite shoulder, maybe give it a rub here, rub your arm. Let's do that on the other side. And then maybe give yourself a little rub on the belly, the back, going down to your lower back and thighs. And then again, so let's bring our hands together, I quite like to place a hand onto my chest and one on my belly for the end of practices. Let's take a big breath in together and a sigh out. And then lower your head to your hands. Just offer yourself some gratitude to practice this gentle yoga class with me. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.